Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. That's how we start a homily on the Holy Trinity, isn't it? So today the church honors the Trinity and invites us to meditate, maybe in a deeper way than we have for a while, on this most sublime mystery of our faith. One God, three divine persons. One in three, three in one. And yes, there's very elegant theology that tries to explain in the best way possible in human terms what this mystery means. But ultimately, we really don't know. We can only speculate and wonder and try to join with them, because they invited us into this mystery. So we know that the Father has loved the Son from all eternity. We know that the Son returns that love totally, without reservation. And that love that's so strong between the two of them, so powerful, the strongest force in the universe, stronger than all the evil which opposes it, stronger even than death. That love we call the Holy Spirit. And it's within us and outside us and all around us. It's in the air that we breathe. And so we try in our own very human and limited way to imitate that love, to go beyond ourselves, beyond our egos and our selfishness and our pride, to try and love our neighbors as ourselves. So today, let's look at this love which is God, and how we're drawn into this love of the three in one. One of the images that's been suggested is that of a dance, a love dance. And I kind of like the image because dances are joyful, and God knows we could all use a little more joy, couldn't we? It's a joyful dance between the three persons of the Holy Trinity, but it's not an exclusive dance, just the opposite. It's a dance which invites everybody in. It's a dance which is always going out, reaching out, calling people to join in. So just a few weeks ago, we celebrated the Ascension, Jesus going back to his Father. And then Pentecost last week, when the Holy Spirit came, as he continues to come and share his gifts with us, so that we can lead holy lives, and so that we can join fully in this dance. The first reading, we hear how Moses was exhorting these people who weren't even a people yet. They still believed in many gods, and he's telling them, no, there's only one God. This is the God that brought you out of slavery. This is the God who allowed you to see him in the burning bush. This is the God who has given you a new life on earth. And it's not because of anything you did to deserve it. It's because this Creator God can only love beyond himself, can only continue to love and to create. That's what he does. One of the definitions of love that I like is that love happens when we will the good of another as other. So it's not an emotional thing. It's not a feeling that we have. But love occurs when you and I desire the good of somebody else, not to make them more like us, not to possess them or take them over, because that's not really love. That's more tyranny. But it's a love that desires them to have the fullness of everything good, so that they can become the people that God has called them to be. God the Creator brought us here out of love. And then in the second reading, Paul talks about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, who is that perfect love between the Father and the Son. And Paul tells us that we're not just objects that have been created like other objects on earth, but that we're adopted sons and daughters of God. We are heirs of creation, and we are heirs of heaven. When we were baptized, we entered into that dance for the first time. The dance of falling and then redemption. And then of suffering, death, and resurrection again, as Jesus did. The Holy Spirit fills the world, gives us the power and the courage and the faithfulness and the energy to witness who God is for us and how God has done mighty things for us all through our lives. So whenever we reach out to someone else, the Holy Spirit is empowering us. Not in a sentimental or romantic kind of way, but to teach us how to love. And sometimes that love, the reality of that love is that it can be gritty and tough and insistent sometimes. Sometimes it's joyful. Sometimes it's misunderstood. But as long as our intention is willing the good of the other as other, then we're going in the right direction. We are entering into the dance. As parents, we participate in this dance also with our children. When we first give them roots, we love them, we show them that they're part of this family of ours, that they always will be. There's always a place for them at the table. And then when they're ready, when they fully know who they are, we then give them wings, set them free to go out and love others and be part of the dance themselves. That's how the Holy Spirit works. God the Sanctifier loves us, equips us for our journey, sends us out, and then accompanies us on the way. And in the gospel, this gospel which comes at the very end of Matthew's gospel, is about Jesus sending his apostles forth. Jesus, who always shows us in concrete ways how we live this life of love. Always inviting others. Remember all the meals that he shared with others, all the times he invited them to be with him, to pray with him. He was always sharing his life, always giving himself away without reservation. No holding back, all the way to God-forsakenness and death. And then resurrection, to bring us with him back to the Father. So you and I, whenever we give ourselves away, even in small things, we're following Jesus. And we're part of the dance. Jesus is meeting his apostles in Galilee, the place where it all started for them. So the journey has come full circle. And as he sends them out on mission, he sends us too. For he is with us and for us. So as we baptize and nurture and teach and guide and support and strengthen and sometimes rebuke, but always comfort and accompany others, all people, everybody that we come in contact with, we're motivated by this Trinitarian love. We're motivated to follow Jesus, who is God the Redeemer. And we do everything that we do in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.